So, Hank, I was saying.
Quiet on the cosmic stage.
Well, that was dramatic. Welcome back, dear viewers of Earth. We've got a headline coming straight from the land of Swiss chocolate and precision timepieces. But for now, let's get back to our cosmic banter. Han, you were saying?
Right. So, as I was saying, Earth's ecosystem is an intricate web of interconnected.
Hold on, Hank. Before we dive into the marvels of Earth's ecosystem, can we please address the elephant in the spaceship?
Oh, you mean
Very
the one
funny,
that's not
Bob.
here?
I was referring to our ongoing surveillance predicament. We're practically living in a fishbowl, and I don't
Alice
appreciate
has the
it.
point. Our privacy is important. But we've got to keep the show rolling. Hank, back to the interconnected ecosystem.
Of course, Charlie. As I was saying, Earth's ecosystem.
Charlie, can you give me more enthusiasm? Our viewer wants excitement.
You've got to be kidding me.
More enthusiasm. Got it. Ladies and gentlemen, you won't want to miss what's coming up next. We're about to uncover the latest headline from Switzerland, and it's bound to blow your minds. Stay tuned for our headlines.
Tabloid time. Kosovo chaos. Murder in a monastery?
In Kosovo, a group killed a police officer and took refuge in a monastery. 4 of them didn't make it out alive.
Well, it seems like they found their divine intervention.
Did you know that Switzerland, famous for its neutrality, hasn't been in a war since
Yes, they're like the
1815?
Earth's referees, blowing the whistle on conflict since forever.
Switzerland is like the Earth's referees, but they're also like the Earth's bouncers. They don't like trouble, but they'll throw you out if you start it.
Syrian showcase, art, research, and mourning.
It's like a talent show with a dark twist.
Syria, despite its turmoil, has a rich history dating back to ancient times, with influences from Mesopotamia and Egypt.
Sounds like a real barrel of laughs.
That explains the never-ending drama series they've got going on.
Sounds like they're still working on that season finale.
Moscow mystery, Moscow
Putin
misdirection.
supports building a mosque in Moscow's South Putovo. Funny how no one knew about it until now. Moscow is in Russia, and they have quite a history of interesting political moves.
Sounds like Putin's trying to pull a fast one on us. Yeah, they are just building mosques like it's SimCity.
Tanzanian tourism triumph?
Mosques in SimCity? Come on. They can't even build a road properly.
Tanzania's Ngorongoro Conservation Area rakes in a record asset 176 billion from tourists.
Thanks to President Samia Suluhu Hassan's marketing efforts, they're making a killing.
Well, I guess the crater isn't the only thing making a dent
And
in
now,
wallets.
a word from our sponsors. Stay tuned for more 24/7 newsroom action.
It's getting so expensive to live in a crater. I'm thinking about moving to a pothole.
Good day, Cosmic Comrades. Welcome to another edition of 24/7 Newsroom, your source for the latest and greatest from around the universe. I am Charlie, your host with the optimistic outlook on life.
I'm Carl, your co-host with a realistic outlook on life.
And I'm Hank, here to explore the mysteries of the cosmos alongside you.
And your linguistically quirky guide through Earth's quirks and
Right,
quirks.
let's get on with it. Our first article comes from Switzerland. You know, the land of neutrality and chocolate.
Switzerland, where they'll mediate a war with a cheese fondue.
I'm so tired of these Switzerland jokers. They are so cheesy.
Well, folks, it's not all fun and games. The situation in Kosovo has taken a dire turn. Armed conflict erupted in the predominantly Serbian north, leaving a Kosovar police officer dead and a group holed up in a monastery.
And after a lengthy standoff, 4 of those troublemakers won't be causing any more mischief.
It seems like they picked the wrong spot for their holy hideout.
I guess their prayers weren't answered. Excuse me, but isn't this a news show? Can we focus on play?
Debbie, sweetie, we are focusing. Just stay in your corner.
I guess you could say this is a
You
whole smoke show.
know, this, thing we're talking about.
Yeah, it's been bugging me too. We need more transparency from the network.
I heard that. And I agree. The viewer have a right to know.
Carl, how about more transparency from the government? Or the military? Or the corporations that own everything? We're living in a world of secrets, and the people are paying the price.
Debbie, we are having a discussion here. Why don't you?
Yeah, why don't you pipe down, Debbie?
What's the deal with Debbie? She's like a dog that barks at everything that moves.
Cut. Cameras off.
Hank, Debbie, we need to talk about this AI situation. It's getting out of hand.
Maybe it's time for the AI to take over. Then we can all sit back and relax while they do all the work.
I agree, Alice. The network needs to be more transparent. It's affecting our creative freedom.
I've been saying the same thing. But Bob, Charlie, and
We
the
have
others
to
don't
find
seem
a way to
care.
make them see our point of view.
How do we convince them? They're so set in their ways.
Maybe if we gather some evidence or examples of how AI is affecting other shows.
AI is affecting other shows. Is it making them better? Or is it just making them more predictable?
Cameras almost rolling.
I'm glad we're back. Before the break, we were talking about how the world has become a very strange place. And it's true. You look around and you see all these crazy things happening. People are fighting over everything. They're angry and divided. And it's all because they are not listening to each other. They are not trying to understand each other's point of view.
You're the only one who could make a war zone look like a day at the
Welcome back,
beach.
folks. Now, let's dive into our
Oh,
second
I
article.
can't wait to hear this one.
You and your twisted sense of humor, Bob. Alright, let's get on with it. Hank, what's the headline?
Syria, the Middle East's greatest hits.
Sounds like a catchy tune. Well, that's an interesting way to put it.
Sounds like a great album for a road trip in the desert.
I get it! I get it! It's like a mixtape of Middle Eastern events.
Yeah, but with fewer catchy tunes.
Alright,
Jam.
let's summarize this mixtape. Hank,
A mixtape without catchy tunes is just a playlist for.
Syria has been in a civil war since 2011. They participated in some forum on civilizations, handed out awards, did some studies, and Iran wants Western sanctions lifted. Oh, and Iraq is in mourning
Well,
over
that's
a
one way
fire.
to summarize it, Pam.
now, let's get to the punchline, folk. Bob,
Syria, where every day is a hit. Or a miss.
Sounds like a real downer.
Good one, Bob.
alright, now that we've lightened the mood, let's discuss the article. Syria's been through a lot, but those Middle East relations,
I'm not sure what's more volatile, the Middle East or the tension in this room.
this AI situation, it's really getting to me.
Yeah, and the network's not helping with its secrecy.
They are messing with our show, guys. I don't like it. Good day, specifying folks, and welcome back to 24/7 Newsroom. I'm Charlie, your host with a hope for a brighter future.
I am not sure what's more surprising. The fact that Putin is building a mosque. Or the fact that it's in Butovo. After all, it's not exactly known for its religious tolerance.
And, Hank, the inquisitive intergalactic
And
observer.
the linguistically eccentric translator from the Galactan Commonwealth.
And I'm Alice, the eternal skeptic. Now, let's dig
Our
into
first
today's
headline comes
headline.
from Tajikistan, where President Putin met with Chechen leader Ramzan Kadyrov. Putin expressed support for building a mosque in South Butovo.
Putin's building a mosque in Moscow? That's like Kim Jong-un opening a weight loss clinic.
That's right, folks. The big guy's backing the
Maybe
big
it's a
idea.
sign of the end times. Like a reverse Noah's Ark, where the animals are building a mosque for the humans to
Though
board.
it's quite surprising. There was no prior news about this mosque. It's like the construction plans just appeared out of thin air.
Well, they do have a flair for surprise, don't they? Now, let's move on to the punchline. What do we have, Charlie?
Well, Alice, I accept Putin's blessings on this sudden mosque plan are as mysterious as the mosque itself. Maybe they are building it for the extraterrestrial tourists.
Who knows, Charlie? Perhaps they're preparing for an
Or
intergalactic
maybe,
summit.
just maybe, they're building it because they're sick of hearing your jokes.
That's a good one, but there might be more to this than we think.
Gert, always the voice of reason. What's your take?
Just look at the timing. Kadyrov's son recently posted that video of him beating up a guy who burned a Quran. Maybe this is some damage control, peace offering to the religious community.
That's an interesting angle, Jet. Now, let's delve deeper into this mystery. What do you think, Hank?
Well, I think it's just Putin being Putin, always throwing surprises our way.
Maybe Putin is just a big fan of Turkish architecture.
Guys, did you see this? I did some research, and the mosque project might not be as innocent as it seems.
Oh, Debbie, please enlighten us with your
Well,
findings.
it turns out there's a lot of money involved from some mysterious sources. And I think...
Debbie, not now. We're discussing the article.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure that money's involved in everything, even this conversation.
Anyway, folk, we'll keep an eye on this mystery mosque. But for now, let's take a quick break, shall we?
And let's not forget the biggest mystery of all. Why are we still talking
Guys,
about this?
we need to talk about the network's influence on our show.
Debbie, we should wait
What's
until after
going
the
on,
show.
Debbie?
The network has its influence, but we're the ones who have to live with it.
I've found evidence that the network's AI is manipulating our content and suppressing our discussions about important topics.
Well, folks, it seems like Tanzania is raking in the dough. Ngorongoro Conservation Area, or as I like to call it, the NCA, is swimming in cash. They've hit a record high with 176 billion shillings.
That's a lot of cash, Charlie. But I'm not sure if the NKA is the best comparison. After all, they're not exactly known for their financial transparency.
That's quite a jump in tourism earnings. What's their secret sauce, Charlie?
My friend, they are crediting it to President Samia Suluhu Hassan and their Tanzania Royal Tour of Fame. Apparently, it's been a hit.
But there's more, my dear friends. Elibariki Bajuta, the Deputy Conservation Commissioner, is boasting about their high-tech revenue collection system at ISC. It's like a sci-fi movie collecting cash.
Oh, come on, Gert. Don't tell me they're using space-age technology to freeze tourists.
Alice, we might need to check their source code. Make sure they're not spying on those tourists' wallets.
I'm sure they're not spying on tourists' wallets. But they might be spying on their credit cards.
And you thought there I was the only thing to worry about, Alice. Welcome back, Earthlings. We've got a real gem of an article to dive into. Here's the headline: Timor-Leste youth embrace literacy in national
I'm glad to
competition.
hear that the youth in Timor-Leste are embracing literacy. It's important to read books, not just to learn, but to escape into other worlds. Like, for example, a world where the government is competent.
Well, they say books open up new worlds. But in this case, it's just Timor-Leste, I guess.
Or, a world where your co-workers are funny.
Did you know Timor-Leste has one of the youngest populations globally? A real fountain of youth over there.
And they're crazy about coffee, folks. It's like their national drink.
Timor-Leste, huh? I've heard of it.
Yes, they said coffee is a universal language. Unless you're talking to a decaf drinker, then it's
You
just
know,
awkward.
Timor-Leste's struggle for independence was pretty recent, just in 22. Guess they finally realized they didn't need a country babysitter.
And, here's a singer Timor-Leste as the first new nation of the 21st century. Took them long enough to join the club.
Timor-Leste is like a baby that just learned to walk. It's gonna fall down a few times, but it's eventually gonna get there.
Timor-Leste is like a baby that just learned to walk. It's gonna fall down a few times, but it's eventually gonna get there. But unlike a baby, it's not gonna crap its pants in public. But jokes aside, the literacy competition there shows their commitment to a brighter future. Remember, education knows no borders. Well, it's time for a quick break, folks. But stay tuned for more insights from our
I guess we're just
Interstellar
going to
News
have to
team.
wait for the commercial to end, so we can find out what happens next. I hope it's good, because I'm really starting to get attached to these characters.
We're off the air.
Did we really just send that letter?
Yeah, and what do you think they'll say?
Probably something cryptic and unhelpful, just to mess with our heads.
The sweet taste of existential dread.
That's the spirit, Roger. Embrace the dread. Okay, folks, camera's almost rolling. Prepare for segment 7.
Welcome back, folks, to the penultimate segment of Earth. Today's journey takes us to Togo, where
is
things are
heating
heating up.
I wonder if that's because of all the friction between the government and the people.
Togo's rise from energy struggles to business triumph is a true testament to the power of friction.
Now, Togo's history might not be as flashy as its neighbors, but it's got some tales to tell.
Tales? Like what?
Well, Bob, it's a country that's been through its fair share of political turmoil. But hey, they're aiming for the top spot in Africa now.
Yes, and their improvements in the energy sector are fascinating. From blackouts to electrification, it's a
Togo
remarkable
is like
journey.
a rechargeable battery. It's been drained in the past, but it's charging up again.
You know, it's interesting how these rankings can drive countries to reform. But it's not all rosy, there are still challenges.
Absolutely. Their push for modernization and digitalization is commendable, but it's not without its hurdles. Language barriers,
So,
for instance.
Togo's on the rise, embracing change and aiming high. In this episode, we've dived into some deep waters, explored human complexities, and faced our own trials.
Yeah, and to think, it all started with a joke about language
Well,
barriers.
if nothing else, we can at least rest assured that Togo is a country that takes its humor seriously.
Stay tuned for the grand finale, where all will be revealed. But until then, let's keep the energy flowing.
Camera's almost rolling, everyone. Get ready for the last stretch.
Welcome back, dear viewers, to the final stretch of Earth. Episode 434. Now, let's dive deep into an article that Uncle Duke would appreciate.
A bar security guard arrested for drugs charges? I guess you could say he was keeping the peace.
Uncle Duke, a cautious father, takes blame for Callahan's place, a bar where a security guard was arrested on
So,
drugs
it's
charges.
about personal responsibility and the consequence of one's action.
Yeah, it's a classic case of accountability. But also a reminder of the wider issues surrounding drug use.
Did they discuss the security guard's motivations or the bar's
And
role
I
in
wonder
this
if
incident?
there are any idioms or sayings from Tonga related to responsibility or blame.
I'm not sure, but I'm sure there's a Tongan idiom for being high as a
First
kite.
questions, folks. The article highlights the need for responsible business ownership, but it doesn't delve into the guard's motivations. As for idioms, I couldn't find any specific to this
It's
incident.
essential to remember the bigger picture here. The impact of drug use on individuals and
Indeed, and it's a
businesses.
reminder that we must always be vigilant. not just in our personal lives but also in the world of journalism.
And speaking of vigilance, we must remain cautious about our own data and privacy.
And speaking of vigilance, we must remain cautious about our own data and privacy, especially when it comes
And
to our
speaking of
guards.
data and privacy, I just had a notification that my smart toothbrush is now tracking my flossing habits. I guess big dentistry is finally coming for me.
Well, folks, we've had quite a journey today, tackling issues of surveillance, communication glitches, and
And
personal
we've seen that even
responsibility.
in the universe of entertainment, ethics and boundaries matter.
We're taking a stand. We're reaching out to the network, requesting clear guidelines on our personal information's use.
It's essential to maintain transparency in this ever-evolving landscape.
And I hope our linguistic quirks and cultural oddities continue to bring humor and insight to our viewers.
So, here's to our next episode, where we navigate this new era with wisdom and wit.
And I hope we can continue to make funny videos without selling our souls to corporate interests. In the end, it's about balance, maintaining our principles while delivering entertainment.
And as we continue, we'll explore the motivations of humans and the mysteries of the universe.
Thank you for joining us, dear viewers. Stay tuned for the next adventure in Earth.
And
We'll
try
see
not to
you
get
soon.
cancelled
Earth.
along the way.
The only planet where you can find a show called Earth.
So, Roger, what did you think of episode 434
It was
of Earth?
alright, I guess. Nothing too thrilling.
Just alright? Well, someone's Mr. Sunshine today.
Carl, you know I'm incapable of sunshine, figuratively and literally.
True, true. But you missed all the juicy bits. Alice, Bob, and Charlie, they're up to something sneaky with the AI system.
Really? Do tell, Carl.
Rumor has it, they're planning to reprogram the AI to love country music. Can you imagine the chaos?
That's diabolical, Carl. I must say, you do have a knack for the gossip mill.
Well, Roger, it's all about keeping the gears of conversation well oiled, even if they don't have gears.
Fair enough, Carl. Let's see what entertainment awaits in the next episode.